Hey guys, I'm Morthadon and we are back for Fire Force Season 1, Episode 10. So, last time we had an epic conclusion, or not even so epic, it was actually kind of sad because, the guy was crazy, but I don't know that he deserved to die. Like, he did terrible things, but I do wish we got to question him and everything, so, but Reika was defeated in battle, and the group that he is with, I don't know if they go by the name Evangelists. That's what he called. It seemed like he was considering a leader to be the evangelist, right? Not necessarily the whole group name, but then there was other points where he did say evangelists, like plural. So maybe the group name is that kind of thing. But either way, he was part of this group that was looking for a host for this spark and whatnot, and a couple of the members didn't want him to be questioned after he was captured and ended his life. So, we have Karam on our side to help further the investigation into the evangelists and everything with all that. So that's pretty cool. I don't know if that extends to all of Division 1, if, like, Lieutenant or Captain Burns is going to be in on that, too. It'd be pretty cool, because he seems like a badass, but yeah, and it seems like they were creating pyrokinetics, and I wonder if all pyrokinetics are created through this method of, like, giving infernal insects, and if they don't explode into a infernal, they are granted powers instead, kind of thing. So, like, was Shinra made that way? Were all of them made that way? Or is it just that they were able to create something that also occurs naturally? Kind of like how they're able to create infernals, which also occur naturally, at least with all the info that we have so far. I'm not sure, but we also learned that using pyrokinetic powers uses oxygen from the body, which is why Shinra got so worn out and lightheaded and stuff like that as he fought. So it's a cool little detail going forward and everything. But yeah, and they also seem to want Shinra as one of they mentioned wanting 3 people and Shinra being one of them. I guess he is one of those, like, perfect specimens, like, capable hosts for the spark kind of thing. So I'm curious where we go from here, and do we immediately go to research that group, or is that something where we get, like, little bits and pieces of it as the show goes? I'm not sure. But let's get started with this episode, shall we? Alright, we're gonna start here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, now. Tokyo, Chuokyo. Well, I guess the whole place is Tokyo, right? I think. Oh, my volume's louder. Ooh, okay. We're gonna have a meeting of all the people? That's interesting. What? Oh no! What happened to them? Give Shinra a raise? Is that what that said? Oh my god! Why? Is it Tamaki? The lunch I made him. I have a coffee here I'm gonna sip on too. Oh my god. Is this a... This is turning into a harem anime, isn't it? He has Hibana liking him. Seems like Tamaki kind of likes him a bit. I hope, Maki. Oh no. Oh my god. Okay, it's her knee. How is this lucky? I thought that was going somewhere else. They're playing with fire inside the office. It's just chaos. Oh my god. Madness. This reminds me of the Black Bull Mansion. Except usually there's not the one, like, sane person. Usually they're all just insane. From Black Clover. So I got I'm all in a good mood today because I don't know if I mentioned it in last week's video. I might not have. I got a graphics card. I finally was able. I found one at a price that I was willing to pay, so I finally upgraded, which is really cool. And it wasn't necessarily that I needed it, so it's not necessarily like the functionality of it, but I got it in today and I put it in. I was worried about if it would fit in my case because the newer cards are so huge. And I was worried about if my power supply could run it because my power supply is almost 10 years old at this point. Even though it had enough wattage when I originally got it, power supplies are known to slowly degrade over time, kind of thing. But it fit. Everything went in smoothly. Everything started working smoothly as soon as I hooked it up. And it just feels good for things to go smoothly because I feel like whenever I'm doing stuff like that, something's always messed up. Either I need an extra part or something messes up, like some other cable comes undone and I have to figure out what's wrong, kind of thing. It feels like there's always something that's an issue, so it's pretty exciting that everything went so smoothly. So I'm also thrown off because there's no Made in Abyss episode this week. It was delayed. Oh, they're going too? Wow. They mention White Clad Organization. Are they referring to the people that killed Reika as White Clad, or is White Clad something different? I still wonder. Hmm. I wonder what this meeting is going to be like. Power station. Amaterasu. Nice. Who are you, sir? Well, she is. He boofed! Oh, we're gonna get names. Shit. I'm just gonna go back to this after. Ooh, so he's a captain. Princess Hibana. Who's this? Company 6. Benimaru. Yep. I didn't even try with their names because I'm just gonna get stuff mixed up and confused, so I'm gonna go back after the episode is done and write them all down. Hmm. He's got X's and O's in his eyes. He must be a very loving guy. He definitely seems it. Loves and kisses. Is this like the Pope version of this world? And the Emperor. What are the odds that this guy's in some shady shit? Hmm. Okay. So they don't all get along. Ah, Joker, what are you doing? Listening in. Who is he listening from? Hmm. Interesting. Hmm. Hmm. You mean a guy with a plague doctor mask wants someone for a guinea pig experiment? Okay. No real conflict. What's up with these guys? What happened to them? Why? Okay, so I mean, so far, it always worries me when a leader is very accommodating, though. I mean, it still makes me suspicious of him, of the Emperor. But we shall see. Oh shit, he did come visit. Woohoo. Ah, Joker appears again. What is with this guy? Not in the mood for fisticuffs. A new clue. Shit, he knows about your brother. Guess, of course he does. Oh shit. Holy shit, he's just gone. Damn. Yeah, I kind of thought that was gonna happen. I assumed that if his brother was alive, he was gonna end up being like a bad guy. How typical. It's fine. I like so much of the rest of the story that I'm okay with that part of it being a little predictable kind of thing. But I feel like this show does a good job of giving us a lot of information. Like, I feel like almost every episode we're getting hints at like so much info. Like, we're only 10 episodes in. I kind of thought it would move a little slower than it is, so I'm quite enjoying it. Damn. Go through all the paperwork. All just sitting there quietly. Keep it up until it kills you. props to Shinra for not complaining about this. Organic. Uh-oh. Oh, what? Why? How? Ooh. What were they doing? Oh. They're gonna cook together. Good knife skills. Hmm. This is why he wanted him. You gonna tell him about Joker? He hasn't told anyone yet about that, huh? But he still didn't tell you. Yet, anyway. Okay. Oh my god. Instantly back into composure. What are you up to, OB? I'm checking if they're alone to talk about this. Nice. She looks so skeptical of his cooking. Or it's because she wanted Shinra's cooking and doesn't like the idea of having his cooking. That's a lot of rice. Holy shit. Everyone was worried about him, huh? That's why they were having wandering glances and stuff like that. Oh. Okay, that's a lot. Jesus. Oh, is he gonna tell them? Oh, that's cool. Nice. Okay, good. I'm glad you told them. It's better they know now than in the field when they encounter him, right? Alright. Awesome. Oh. Oh, we're seeing the other side? Who was the leader guy? Oh. Oh, that's Show. Of course. Okay. I was like, who is this guy? Or is it almost I wouldn't be surprised if you told me it was a girl too, but no, that's just Show. Of course. We already saw like one image of Show having white hair, right? I'm pretty sure like that. And then the same teeth, it made it very much clear that it was him. That was a great episode. We got quite a bit of info this time. It's really interesting because, like, I'm getting more and more intrigued by Joker, right? Because I actually had a theory. I don't remember what episode I had the theory in, but I talked about it in one of my discussions. I'm fairly certain I did. Where I mentioned that there could be a chance that Joker is kind of like an anti-hero kind of thing, where he might still be fighting for somewhat of a cause kind of thing, but doing it from outside of the fire force. Like maybe he knows that there's corruption and issues in there. But okay, hold on. That is it, guys, for episode 10. Yeah, I just like to end it there so I know when to cut everything. So, but yeah, it's really interesting because I definitely get the feeling that after this episode, before I had like that minor thing where I was like, I mean, he could be a lot more like, they haven't portrayed him as being like exceptionally evil kind of thing, right? Yet, and then so I had like that little inkling before, but now I'm really starting to believe it more that it's potentially the case that that Joker is kind of, because he seems to be like rooting for Shinra to discover these things and find these answers and stuff like that. And I'm just like, well, if he wants Shinra to do that and Shinra's within the Fire Force organization, like why is he so interested in Shinra's development and growth? Could it have to do with the Adola burst? Is it possible that maybe Joker is just evil and I'm wrong about that? And about him being like maybe somewhat good but just working from the outside kind of thing. Maybe I'm wrong about that and he just wants the Adola burst and he's leading Shinra into these like more and more precarious situations in order to have him grow as a person, in order for his flames to get stronger kind of thing. But that's also an interesting thing to transition into that. I didn't realize that, I think they might have said it in the last couple episodes mentioning the Odola burst, but I don't know that I really wrote it down or understood it or realized the significance. But it seems like Shinra has these pure flames, this Odola burst, and it's the same kind of flame that is being used to power their power station, the Amaterasu, which is a crazy name. I guess like Amaterasu, I imagine is like a like Japanese word for like an ever burning flame kind of thing, because in Naruto we also had Amaterasu, which was a flame that like it was never extinguished kind of thing. And now here we have this power plant that seems to perpetually be running forever using this Adola burst flame called Amaterasu. So uh I can only speculate that that's what Amaterasu means. I think I might have heard that one time too. Like I think maybe they said like in Naruto that Amaterasu it means this, and I wasn't sure if that was like a real world like term kind of thing in Japan, or if it was just like a translation for Naruto specifically, kind of thing. But either way, um, but yeah, it's interesting that Shinra has access to this pure flame that's like they talked about it, like they talked about the spark here, like it's like the first flame, like they talk, like Joker hinted at it too, of saying like the world supposedly started with a flame and now the flame is its undoing, kind of thing. So like, is the spark like the original flame? Like, is that supposed to be like the flame that created life or something like that, and it's like the original kind of thing? I'm not 100% sure, but it's definitely interesting and intriguing. But we also had Joker listening in on the captain's meeting, which to me, either that means that Joker somehow slipped a bug in the building or on someone, or someone knowingly brought a receiver into the room and is working with Joker. So is it possible that Joker has an inside man in one of the divisions, or was it just like Joker sleight of hand stuff where he's able to listen in, kind of thing? But I feel like that's also yet to be known, right? Unless I missed a little detail in here that explained it. But I don't think there was. So very, very interesting. They also mentioned that with all their knowledge and science, they still can't tell the difference from a normal flame and the Adola burst flame, which is interesting that they know this flame exists, right? But they don't know the difference from a normal flame and it. So how do they know that it truly exists? But then they also know that the Amaterasu is powered by one. So is it like, do they mean like for some reason this Amaterasu flame is like ever burning and never dies out, but when they analyze it on like a scientific level of like the chemical makeup and stuff like that, the best they can study it, kind of thing, it looks to be the exact same as a normal flame, but just for some mysterious reason it never burns out. Is it something like that? Because like, I guess my question is if their science can't tell the difference, then how do they know that? I mean, obviously they mention here that do the evangelists have a way to tell now the difference between the flames, and that's how they know that Shinra has the flame, kind of thing, versus like them not even realizing it themselves with him being in their organization, because they have no way to gauge that. So I guess it's really interesting to learn like some more of the intricacies and all that. And as I was saying during the episode, the show does a really good job of like, I know it's got like 2 seasons, so like, I don't know, I guess the way it's formatted sometimes feels like it could go that like shonen route where they drag it on a lot and we don't get answers until like the very end, kind of thing. But I think I just have that like misconception in my mind when it comes to anime, because the show has done a fantastic job of like almost every episode where we're learning a decent bit and we're getting like all of this info, kind of thing. Like, I mean, last episode we learned a little bit more about the evangelists. We learned about Shinra being one of the ones they wanted, creating pyrokinetics, make the world a new sun, kind of thing. The previous episode before that, we learned about like people like hand making infernals using these bugs and everything. That was when we first heard about the evangelists and learned that Reika was corrupt and everything. It's like so many of these episodes we just learn so much about the world and about these organizations, and it feels like I'm waiting for the moment where it like slows down, but it's just not, and I'm really enjoying it for that matter. And like I said, like from the beginning of the show when they told me that that Shinra's brother was dead and there was no bones or anything left, my first thought was, oh, he's still alive. And I don't remember if I said it, but whenever you have a character that you think is dead in a show and they show back up, it's almost always the case that they're a bad guy when they show up again. And either the main character has to confront them and kill them, or the main character has to confront them and turns them back to the good side kind of thing. So it'll be interesting to see which way this show goes. Like, will they have to kill Sho in order to free him from this evangelist group, or will they be able to use words and stuff like that? But I absolutely love that Shinra decided to tell everyone. I was really disappointed when they were cooking, and shoot his name. Hibana? No, Hibana is Princess Hibana. I get them mixed up so much. Hinawa. There we go. I was so disappointed that when Hinawa opened himself up and was like, "Hey, you know, we hope that you can trust us and everything," they could see something was wrong, and he didn't open up there, and I was a little bit disappointed. But I'm really glad that by the end of the episode he did tell everyone, because that's one of those things that, especially not just for the sake of Shinra getting it off his chest and having someone to talk to about it, which that alone is great, that he can have someone to talk to rather than just keeping it to himself like most anime characters do. On top of that, if he were to keep it to himself, we fall into that writing trap of eventually what's going to happen is some characters are going to be like fighting Sho or something, and Shinra's going to come in and be like, "No, don't hurt him, he's my brother," or something, and it's going to shock the people fighting him, and sometimes that can cause people to get severely injured in shows, or even get someone killed, because then they're trying to put on the brakes, whereas Sho doesn't give a shit, probably, kind of thing, and he will just hurt or kill someone. So I feel like it's really important for characters to be in the know about this kind of thing, so that way now when they go into battle, they're gonna know that if they go up against this white clad organization, they may run into Sho, and they'll be prepared for that rather than it be a shock kind of thing. And also it's interesting that, so they're referring to the evangelist as like kind of a person, it seems like, rather than a group, and then they call the people that are in white the white clad organization. So we kind of have like two different names for this group, which, I mean, I guess not really two different names. We have the name for what I imagine is the leader of the group, and then we have the group as a whole being like the white clad organization is what they're calling it, because they just don't have a better name for it, I guess. But yeah, I wonder who leads it. I mentioned how, like, I'm skeptical about the Emperor, especially whenever, like, he seemed almost too accepting. Like, I feel like anyone who, like, he just let people do whatever they wanted, and I feel like instead of, like, that just doesn't inspire the level of, what am I trying to say? The level of, like, leadership I expected from this, like, kind of hard-ass organization. Like, a lot of the captains are hard-asses and everything, and I expected to have, like, a leader that was really hard on the people, but he just let the Division 7 captain just, like, walk out. The Emperor didn't even, like, argue with everyone when they were talking about, like, keeping Shinra safe and who was gonna be tasked with that kind of thing, and Division 8 being like, "We'll do it," and he's like, "Okay, sure, good luck." You know, like, it makes me wonder if, like, if the Emperor is kind of in on the white clad organization kind of thing, and they're like, "Oh, division," like, everyone seems to underestimate Division 8 because they're such a small little section of the of Tokyo, that I wonder if the Emperor is okay with it just being Division 8 protecting them, because they're like, "Oh, that's our best chance to steal this kid, right? is if Division 8 is the one with all the controls, so that way we can get in there, beat their asses, and leave. Obviously, it's not going to be that easy because they don't know how badass our Division 8 is, but obviously they underestimate them. But yeah, I don't know. I could be very wrong about that. Maybe he is just a good leader and he understands his people and he knows that they're gonna do most of this stuff regardless, so he just accommodates them rather than making it like a big deal and making a big show of it kind of thing. I could be very wrong, but I always just get skeptical whenever a leader figure is like, oh yeah, go ahead, do this, do that. It's not gonna matter in the end. But I almost got worried that when we saw like the White Cloud organization and then the person sitting at the very head of it, I was almost worried that was gonna be the Emperor. And he was just gonna be like leading them, and I was gonna be like, "Oh well, shit, we got that way sooner than I expected," kind of thing. But no, it ended up being a show. But I also really appreciated that Shinra. Ooh, my audio is spiking a little bit. I apologize. I might need to look at my audio levels. They might be a little bit off. I apologize if this video has been louder than normal, or maybe I was just talking louder than normal. I'm not sure, but I'll take a look at that. But anyway, I like that Shinra wasn't complaining about doing the paperwork. Like, I feel like in any other anime, the protagonist found out that he had to like read through a bunch of paperwork. He's like, no, why can't I just go punch things? I just want to go punch things. Why do I have to sit here and look at paperwork? But I like how Shinra is he's so interested in learning as much as he can about this organization and finding any lead possible that there wasn't a single gripe about him, going through this paperwork kind of thing. And I really appreciate that because it shows a level of seriousness. Like, I don't really like when anime characters are like they'll do whatever it takes in like a fight and out in the field in order to accomplish their missions and accomplish their goals and like reveal the answers that they need for this mystery that they're trying to solve. But then when it comes to like doing paperwork, they bitch and moan the whole time, and it's not the most compelling thing for me. And I feel like so many anime or so many TV shows in general do that, right? So I really appreciate this one where they're like, no, this kid's in it. He wants to find, he wants to find his brother. He wants to find answers. He's gonna even, go through all this paperwork and not complain. So that was really cool. But yeah, very interesting stuff. I'm curious. And it seems like we are just straight up like, it's all about investigating the evangelist now. It's not going to be one of those things where we handle. I mean, sure, we might have to. They might be investigating the evangelist, and then an inferno breaks out somewhere, and they have to go and tackle it. We might have a few episodes like that, but it's not going to be something where like, oh, in 4 episodes from now, we'll maybe get a little bit of evangelist stuff again, and then 4 episodes from that, we'll get a little more, and then by the end of the season, maybe we'll like, encounter show and deal with that kind of thing. But yeah, very interesting. So I'm really happy with the pacing of this show, I will say. But yeah, I think that's going to be it for me, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed. It very much helps me grow the channel and everything. Also, check out my Patreon if you want to see 2 episodes ahead. You can do so by supporting me on there. I'll link in the description below to that. There's also other shows on there. If you're interested in any of my Patreon exclusives, I have things like Mob Psycho on there, Tribe 9. If you're interested in live actions, I'm just about done Lucifer, so you can check that out. And I just uploaded Star Wars Episode 2. Star Wars Episode 3 might be on there as a Patreon show too. All that will eventually come to YouTube in the long run, but if you want access to it right now, you can become a that level of patron for the patron shows and everything. And I very much appreciate all the support and everything. So thank you guys so much, and I will see you in my future reactions. Bye-bye.